should tell you, I was able to sleep by 1, and sometimes there were even calls after that also. So with interruptions, I used to get up at around 6 in the morning. The very first thing I used to do was just look at the mobile, how many missed calls are there, or just find out how many positives have come. This came that day, as Sophia was also telling what many other occasions or many other such incidents. This was one of them. When I saw 73, I realized, oh my God, I am gone. Today I'll be transferred, and I don't know what will happen to me. I might be suspended or what not. See, these thoughts can come in anybody's mind. I was so stressed, and I was living away from my family in a rest house. It was not so away. It was just 1.5 kilometer away. So there I used to get up and see that 73 cases have come, and I was feeling like everything has gone. So there were many such incidents, and there are many more stories which could have come. And it's a pain of almost 1 year, because when I started writing, I got transferred in June, and by that time things were settling, and we had already opened up the city. And then I started compiling few things. I compiled. Then I requested my friends also that I told them that I am compiling something. You should contribute. You should tell me your experiences. I thought that I would include 5-6 stories, but then it became 15. I wanted to include more. I thought of including 50, but it was not feasible. It was not possible, because to talk to every officer who was so busy was so difficult that I cannot tell you how many times I called them. It took a lot of time to get them interviewed and all. And so it was really difficult. So many stories are still left, and I feel diary of a bureaucrat, of course, because I feel I have written about so many people. I have written about stories. So diary of a bureaucrat, it goes well. So it just happened that way.
I am Dr. Pradeep Kapoor, a medical professional. I have a question for the author. It's now well established that India performed very well during this pandemic of COVID-19 as compared to Western countries, which had better resources. So what would you enumerate as 3 main reasons why we managed to come out with flying colors during this pandemic?
I feel each one of us can answer in our own ways, but I will again go back to this story, how we survive together, how we help each other. That's the most important thing. With our limited resources, our country could show to the world. It's not about showing off, but we can tell the world that yes, we can make our own vaccine. I never imagined that we would be able to make vaccine so fast. When developed countries made it, it took hardly few more days or maybe a month or so that we also developed our own vaccine. So it is the decisive leadership, it is the togetherness, it is the society. The society is filled with so much of passion, so much of energy. We have so many youth. We keep on telling that we have a demographic dividend, though I sometimes say that it should not become demographic disaster. But I felt that when so many people were coming to us with their own solutions, so many young youths and young people coming, and they were telling. So I feel the energy in the society, the community, the strong community, the country as a whole, the capability of the country to handle such things, and the confidence which is growing up and up and up. I feel these are the reasons that we could really tide over the problem we have faced. We have had our own problems and dark events, but still I feel we have done well, and with the overall togetherness, with the feeling of community, we could tide over this thing.
I am Asma Rizwan, professor in Management College. Let me tell you, Tarun, that your book would be a very good book on leadership, because I teach leadership, and it would be a great case study for the future generations to come. So first thing, we'll have it in our library. Second, what Seema said about the book tells me that leadership is not being in charge, it is taking care of people in your charge. So that proves very well. We would always see you and Irshad Wali as the face of the people on the front line, always standing on roads, and so and both of you were so slim. I would like to know कि आप दोनों ने कुछ फिर भी वजन लूज किया क्या?
मैम 3-4 किलो उसके बाद लूज हुआ है. But of course, I'll tell something about the book. One very good experience. One of my teachers in Delhi, he called me one day and said, "Tarun, I have written this book. I read this, and I realized, you know, स्टडीज हैं और उसमें ऐसा लिखा है वैसा लिखा है." बोले यार कुछ नहीं है, दिस इज अ मोटिवेशन बुक. मैंने कहा सर कैसे आपने ये नया एंगल कैसे निकाल लिया? बोले यार तरुण मैं बच्चों को पढ़ाता हूँ, इस बुक को पढ़ने के बाद लग रहा है कि मुझे आईएएस की तैयारी फिर से करना चाहिए. तो मैंने कहा सर ऐसा आपको क्यों लग रहा है, आप तो बोले नहीं मुझे ऐसा आज लगता है कि अभी भी बहुत कुछ बाकी है गवर्नमेंट सर्विसेज में, अभी भी पब्लिक सर्वेंट्स बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं. इट्स नॉट अबाउट आईएएस, आईपीएस, आईएफएस और अदर फ्यू सर्विसेज, बट इट्स अबाउट द पीपल हु आर वर्किंग फॉर द गवर्नमेंट. उस समय सबने जो अपना सर्वस्व दिया, उस समय जो लोगों ने बिना अपनी चिंता किए सब कुछ किया, वो बियॉन्ड इमेजिनेशन था. कई लोग भाग सकते थे, जा सकते थे, बट दे वर्क. एंड दिस इज व्हाट आई फील कि ये जो एक पैशन है, जो अभी भी लोग बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं इन सेवाओं में आके, वो मुझे लगता है कि एक मैसेज वो भी इस बुक से जाता है.
Dr. Sarabjit, I would like to ask you and the whole team here, what was the historical perspective you used? Because I believe a similar sort of pandemic took place 100 years back. And a lot of stuff and a lot of information is available on that pandemic. So did the team, whether it was India or the state, did they consult or did they get information from that previous pandemic? Number two, I am very glad that it has been mentioned by a previous questioner that your book should be a template now for future. Let's hope it doesn't happen, any such kind of tragedies, but a template can be produced by this. So these are the two things, the historical story and the template for the future, the past and the future. And as far as the present goes, I am very glad you've also highlighted that India's soft skills, I think, saved us.
I would, request Nishant sir also to answer this question, but I will just share one particular piece of information. Dr. Sarman Singh, he was director AIMS that time, and he told me that, this happened long back, 100 years back, and that time some waves also came, so we should be ready and all that. So that time I was not able to imagine that अभी तो एक वेव है, पता नहीं क्या होगा नहीं होगा. So he said कि ऐसा हुआ था और उस समय भी कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें, थोड़ा बहुत जो भी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन रहा होगा. So मैं ये नहीं कहता कि उससे मैंने कुछ सीख के कर दिया, but of course I think at the level of government and like Dr. Saab was always telling me, जहांगीराबाद में हमने 100 पल्स ऑक्सीमीटर डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किए थे, ओनली बिकॉज ही सेड कि आप वेट मत करना, आप कई चीज़ें नहीं समझ पाओगे, आप तो एक काम करिए. ये भी तब जब लोगों को पल्स ऑक्सीमीटर के बारे में शायद इतना नहीं पता था. ही सेड 100 पल्स ऑक्सीमीटर कहीं से भी लाओ आप. तो मैंने किसी से रिक्वेस्ट किया, ही डोनेटेड 100, वन ऑफ द इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट डोनेटेड 100 पल्स ऑक्सीमीटर. वो हमने डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया. डॉक्टर साहब ने कहा यदि 94 के नीचे हुआ तो उठा के ले आना, कोई टेस्टिंग की जरूरत नहीं है. दैट वॉज द काइंड ऑफ thing which was happening at that time. So I think for rest, sir.
Last. Hello. Last pandemic was 1980, 1919, 20. So history always makes you learn. तो आप अगर उसको इन्फ्लुएंजा के पैंडेमिक को आज कोविड-19 के पैंडेमिक से कंपेयर करें, so that was a very, very disastrous pandemic, known to give loss to 18% to 24% of the population of the world. But 100 years development has changed the scenario of such a drastic COVID-19 pandemic. You believe me, it is the mortality rate is less than 3%. The information technology is so fast. The hospitals were working, the bureaucrats were working. सरकारों का मन कैसा था? आप देखिए कोविड-19 जब हिंदुस्तान में आया नहीं और सरकार का मन था कि हम वैक्सीन भी बना लेंगे, हम हेल्थ सेंटर भी बना लेंगे, हम डेडिकेटेड कोविड सेंटर भी बना लेंगे. लोगों का मन देखो, अखबार बट रहे थे, लोग खाना खिला रहे थे एक दूसरे को. इन्फ्लुएंजा पेंडेमिक में तो लोग घरों में भाग गए थे, बंद हो गए थे और निकले भी नहीं थे, अस्पताल तो खुले भी नहीं थे. तो there was that pandemic had made us learn, and believe दैट पेंडेमिक के जो पुराने एक्सपीरियंसेस थे वो अगर अपन कंपेयर करें तो आज द रिजल्ट्स आर extremely good even when the COVID-19 virus was more dangerous than that swine flu influenza virus या बीच में जो swine flu H1N1 SARS H1N1 आया था. So it was a very good learning experience from the past and in COVID-19 application of the government. लोग कहते हैं कि बहुत क्राइसिस था, लेकिन let me tell you, my collector Bhopal is sitting by my side. I never had a small deficiency of oxygen in my hospital with 1200 patients lying down, out of which 700 patients were on oxygen. Even क्राइसिस था, एक घंटे का मैनेजमेंट चलता था, 2 घंटे का मैनेजमेंट था, लेकिन एक बार भी ऑक्सीजन कम किसी भी पेशेंट को भोपाल के नहीं मिली. मैं बहुत विश्वास से ये बात कह सकता हूँ.
नमस्कार. मेरा सवाल डॉक्टर साहब से है. मेरा नाम अक्षत शर्मा है, स्वदेश अखबार से. I owe a lot to Dr. Goenka ji. He saved my father from this deadly disease. And my question to him कि इस पूरे पेंडेमिक में जब पूरा शहर, पूरी दुनिया इतने तनाव में थी और सब लोग के चेहरे पर मौत का डर देखा जा सकता था, उस दौरान डॉक्टर साहब अपने हॉस्पिटल में, जो कि एक कोविड हॉस्पिटल था, उसमें बगैर मास्क के हर मरीज के कमरे में जाकर उससे मिलते थे, उससे बातचीत करते थे और उसे जो विश्वास दिलाते थे वो उसमें जीने की एक नई आशा का संचार करता था. तो वो क्या था जिसने डॉक्टर साहब को इस पूरे पेंडेमिक में इतनी मजबूती प्रदान करी? और एक सवाल तरुण जी से भी है. अभी आपने कहा कि demographic dividend, I sometimes call it demographic disaster. What do you mean by that?
कोई स्पेशल दवा नहीं थी मेरे पास, कोई स्पेशल वैक्सीनेशन नहीं था मेरे पास, लेकिन एक चीज पक्की थी कि मैं कोविड को प्यार करता था. आई वॉज लविंग कोविड और मुझे डर नहीं था उससे, जरा भी डर नहीं था. मुझे कभी एहसास भी नहीं हुआ उसका डर. मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि होगा भी तो कुछ